Welcome, Lance. Thanks so much for coming. I really love opening Twitter now because I always see your wonderful tweets in the morning. Do you want to talk a little bit about your passion for security and research?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, started out as a kid looking into Houdini, actually, and loved magic, and it was always interesting seeing how he was able to manipulate things and do things in ways that no one was expecting. And as I got into technology, this sort of naturally progressed, and the lockpicking and security side of magic bridges right over, and just trying to look at things differently and see if I was malicious, how might I approach this?
And we need people like you, obviously, because, gosh, all the hacks that are happening just generally. But obviously tonight we're really focused on the SIM swaps. And at the end of June, I had 2 SIM swaps happen within a period of less than 2 weeks. And now T-Mobile have put me on to a SIM blocked account. And I said, why isn't everyone on that? And they said, oh, our team's too small. So I'm just wondering, what's your overview and perspective of what's happening with the SIM hacks? It's pretty terrifying because it's not just crypto that can be attacked. Your bank account, anything that you've got as an app on the phone to start with. So what's your suggestion or solution or vision of where we're going with all of this?
Well, I think it's twofold. First of all, we have this situation where we have given carriers the control over all our most important assets. This was a foolish choice in hindsight, and I think hopefully everybody can realize that cell phone texting is just not the best two-factor authentication method. We have so many better alternatives today, and so while we need to hold carriers responsible in the short term, in the medium term, we need to be holding these services responsible that offered SMS as an option in the first place, because it's known to be an insecure method. And even if the carriers fix the SIM swapping part of it, we don't use strong encryption on SMS in the US. With very trivial to acquire equipment, you can still listen in on text messages within like a 20-mile plus radius. So attackers will just move on to that next. So let's be ahead of them and move on to like hardware two-factor authentication devices. And we have to pressure the companies we care about to offer that.
So do you think the telcos will pay attention? Because I've read that they basically never expected that the phones would be used in the way they are now initially. And so they're just keeping their heads in the sand because of that reason.
Yeah, I think it's not too dissimilar from how things played out with Social Security numbers. We treated Social Security numbers, phone numbers, these sorts of things as a proof that someone is who they say they are. And these are just not good methods. These are not methods that were ever recommended by security researchers at large, and which is why it gets back to we need to start finding some of these other methods. I don't think the telco companies are equipped to care. They're not required to care, and their profits aren't going to really change regardless of whether they take any sort of effort here. So my confidence level, I think it is worth continuing to pressure them. My confidence level that they will do anything about it is low. I think we have to look at the companies that, again, customers have entrusted to hold their funds, to hold their assets, most important things. If we could look out for money ourselves, we just keep it under our mattress, but we don't feel confident to hold a lot of these assets ourselves. We trust these companies that say, hey, we'll keep your assets safe, we'll keep whatever it is safe, to make good recommendations, and SMS is just not one of them.
Well, thanks for the heads up on that. I'm going to make sure that I can remove all that SMS two-factor authentication on websites. So I really appreciate that you come tonight. Your expertise will be invaluable, I'm sure, and I think it'll be a great panel.
Yeah, it should be fun.